So I live in Minnesota, land of 10,000 lakes. We actually have 10,000 lakes, actually more than that in Minnesota. And if you've ever gone in a lake on a boat, probably you've never been in a boat that got a leak in it, but if you have, you've heard of the analogy of like trying to bail water while there's more water coming in. Another Minnesota analogy that probably fits is shoveling snow in a snowstorm, right? So whatever resonates. But have you ever thought this? If I could just get on top, then I would at least have a chance of maintaining it. But how do we get there? How do we get back on top? Well, today I have realistic ideas of how you can shift your mindset, how you can get out of the tiredness cycle that many of us have got caught in. I have steps that are easy, but they are specific and strategic. And when you put them together, you can see an overnight difference in your house, and it's a difference that your family is gonna notice right away as well. I feel very confident about this. Well, hi, I'm Dawn from The Minimal Mom. I have been a minimalist for 10 years. I have 4 kids ages 10 through 15, but I also just love productivity too. And as I simplified my house, it led to simplifying all the other areas of our home too. And now I get to work with women every single day inside of our membership community, and we talk about these things: evening routines, morning routines. How do we get out of this trap of always feeling behind? All right, number 1 is to look at running your home like running a small business. I don't know how it was for my grandma many, many years ago, but these days running a household is like running a small business. You have budgets, you have projects, you have employees, right? You have family members that you have to figure out how to motivate and how to reward and how to keep them on track. There's always a project that you're managing. You have to figure out where the money is gonna come from. And don't even get me started with all of the digital things that you are managing as well. And so number 1 is to realize that running this business that is your household takes time and energy, and most of us do not allot enough time for it because we're not putting enough weight on it. So inside of our membership group, we set aside an hour every Saturday morning and we work on these things together because it's that important. But for so long as women, we've just been fitting all of these tasks, meal planning and cooking and rotating the kids' clothes out each season. We just fit it into the nooks and crannies. But if you will begin to block out a time for it, schedule it, make it a priority, your family will start to realize the importance of it and the load that you're carrying as well. Action step: set aside 10 to 20 minutes each night to work on your household management tasks. This is going to help you feel on top and in control again. Number 2 is to understand that there's a big difference between activities that energize and restore you and activities that drain you. Did you know this? Okay, you could get to 7 o'clock tonight. You could just rate, where is your energy level at? On a scale of 1 to 10, you could be like, my energy level is like at a 3. And even at the end of the day, when you have felt like you've kind of given it all throughout the day, you don't have a lot left, even at that time of day, you could do activities that recharge you, re-energize you, restore you, or you could do activities that continue to drain you further. And what's so interesting to me is that even things, I love a good show on Netflix. However, research will show you this. Watching TV actually continues to deplete you more. Mindless activities like scrolling, binge watching, game playing keep the brain in a low level state of stimulation without actually recharging. They numb, but they don't nourish. That's why as women, we often wake up the next day still feeling tired, tense, or behind. However, if you do an activity that restores you, then you actually do feel a higher energy level, you feel more rested and restored heading into the next day. And so there's a big difference in the type of activity that we choose to do. But this is so cool, and this is definitely what I've experienced working with the women inside of our membership community, and also for myself as well, is that underneath this escapism, most women crave meaning, creativity, and connection. And so it's a little bit different for each of us. Like, I know I feel most alive when I'm doing something creative. It could be a DIY project around the house. It could be designing something for our membership community. I see my mom, she will spread all of her rubber stamping stuff out on their dining room table and be stamping cards for people. Also just going for a walk. All of those things, like when I actually pay attention to it, they do restore me. Talking to a friend, probably, someone who's a little optimistic, but that can make a huge difference as well. And here's what's so interesting though. Did you know this? Even something like doing the dishes at the end of the night can be a recharging activity. Tidying up your kitchen can be a recharging activity. Action step: spend at least 20 minutes on an activity that energizes you. Whether it's working on something creative or even doing the dishes, this will feel so much better than 20 minutes of scrolling. And the next tip is to master your digital calendar, like really master it. We manage so many events, details, schedules, appointments now. We definitely can't do it on paper, and you have to make sure you have the right tools for your household. And so today's video is sponsored by the Skylight Calendar, and this thing is awesome. Skylight Calendar is a smart touchscreen calendar that helps keep the whole family organized with schedules, chore charts, dinner planning, and customizable lists. We've had our Skylight Calendar for about 6 months now because we needed one central place where everything got entered, and I just love that we could do it from our phone, or you can enter things directly on the screen as well. Now, it was really important to me that this would sync with my current digital calendar. It syncs with all of the popular calendars like Google, Apple, and Outlook. The feature that I didn't think I would like as much as I do is actually the chore charts. I love that you can make a separate list for each child. And what's kind of fun is that once they get them all checked off, there's even exploding emojis. And you can also create custom lists for groceries, to-dos, and more. All of the lists are accessible for all members at home, on your calendar, and on the go in the Skylight app. And with the Calendar Plus subscription, you'll get a full weekly meal planning tab with recipe storage. It even maps out your weekly meals by generating meal plans based on the preferences you give it. And they also have Sidekick, which magically imports dates. You can even take a photo of a flyer and it'll enter the details for you. Get organized in 2025 with the Skylight Calendar. Use my code MINIMALMOM30 at the link in the description or scan the QR code to save $30 off your 15-inch calendar. Available globally. But if it has not felt recharging to you, I know exactly why, and that is tip number 3, and that is that your environment is sabotaging you. It is draining you instead of setting you up to be energized and to feel satisfied and complete when you have finished all of your household chores. And so you know me, as a minimalist, like this is probably the one that I think is most important because I think you have labeled yourself a loser when you don't get the dishes done at the end of the night and the kitchen cleaned up and the kids' lunches packed, when it's not you at all. Your environment is totally draining you. Our environment either supports us or sabotages us. And I love this quote by Deepak Chopra. He says, "You can't make positive choices for the rest of your life without an environment that makes those choices easy, natural, and enjoyable." And so when you look around your home and you look at the things that you would like to get done at the end of the night, that's why I don't think this is about checklists. I'm gonna give you my 3 very specific things that I want you to do at the end of the video, but I don't think it's not about checklists. It's about when you complete this activity, do you feel satisfied? Do you get that dopamine release because it's fully done? And this is why I'm really passionate. Like if you're like, where do I start? And this is one of my 3 things. It's clear your kitchen counters. And here's why. Because you need to be able to look back after you have finished your dishes and tidied up your kitchen, and it needs to feel done. Now, it doesn't mean people aren't gonna come behind you and undo it, right? But at least once a day to have that satisfaction that I got the dishes done, I got all of my kitchen cleared off and tidied up. When you step back and look at this, that is an energizing activity. That gives you satisfaction. You feel done. It's the same thing you're getting from scrolling, but even better. It lasts longer and it makes it more likely for you to want to do it again tomorrow. For most of us, we don't ever get that satisfaction because we have the random piles of paper here. We have a couple left of dishes that were like hand wash only that didn't fit into the dishwasher. There's something left on the stove or on the other edge of the counter. And so we never get that satisfaction. Your house never feels done. And so if you would be willing to match the inventory in your house to how much time you actually have to put into it right now in this current season of life, you could every night be getting that level of satisfaction. What's the problem? Most of us have to really reduce the inventory to get our house to work for our current season. And that can be kind of scary and intimidating. And that's why we hang out together and I tell you what you can safely get rid of and what things you should hang on to. And you know, when I started on this minimalism journey, so 10 years ago, I'm back at the beginning. I have 4 kids, ages 4 and under. We had hardly any money at all. I didn't know what I was doing, but I just knew something had to change. And so I said, I am gonna declutter my home until it feels easy. That's what I was looking for minimalism to solve for me. I wanted a house that was easy to take care of so I could do the things that I was more passionate about, which at the time was my blogs and that kind of stuff, right? I mean, I wanted to be a present mom and all that, but I really loved creating. And so I'm like, I don't want to put all this time into my house. Like, I want to be able to do these other things that I want to. And so I'm like, I'm just going to declutter until my house is easy. I didn't know how much that was gonna be, and if you would have told me at the onset that it would have been 85% of our stuff, if not even a little bit more, I would have been, that's wild, that's out there. Would it really? You have to get rid of that much stuff for your house to be easy? And now here I am, 10 years later. I thought when our kids were ages 4 and under that they took a lot of time and effort and I had to have really low inventory. I'm like, I bet as they get older, we'll be able to manage a little more inventory. Oh my goodness. And you tried to tell me, those of you who have teenagers, right? Our kids are 10 through 15. Adeline's about to get her driver's license this fall. And no, I don't want to hear about how it changes and I'm never going to see her. Like, ugh. But I thought we could manage more inventory as the kids got older. Are you joking me? I feel like we just have to keep going less and less. Not to mention the other kind of stressful season of life that I've come through, right? I'm like, less inventory, right? Because I'm so aware of matching the inventory in my house with what I'm actually able to manage right now, where I can still feel like I'm staying on top of it and it's not hard. It's not a daily struggle. Yeah, every once in a while we're on the struggle bus and things get a little overwhelmed, but day to day, it doesn't feel so hard. And especially if you are someone that deals with chronic illness, you're caring for aging parents, you have a really stressful job, really stressful relationships, maybe your kids have extra needs, or your kids just have all the needs that come with kids these days. Would you be willing to continue to reduce the inventory in your house so you can also get to a point where your house feels easy and you're able to stay on top of it? And there is such a pressure off of your shoulders when you get your house to that point. Number 4, let's talk about writing your to-do list before bed. This is scientifically proven to help you sleep better. This is what's fascinating to me. Writing a to-do list is even more effective than journaling. You could pour your heart out, all the difficult things that are going on in your journal, try to work through them, process, get them out. Like, still a great exercise. I think we should all do that anyways. However, they found that people who wrote their to-do list, they slept even better than those who journaled before bed. And so science shows that writing tomorrow's to-do list before bed helps you fall asleep faster and sleep more soundly. Why? Because of this idea of capturing, and I'm going to explain this to you. So the simple act of recording a thought, task, or responsibility onto a trusted list. Your brain relaxes when it realizes that it doesn't have to hold on and keep spinning that thought overnight. But here's the fascinating part, and I hope you can grasp this and understand this today, because this is a game changer. Relief, the mental relief, does not come from finishing your to-do list. It comes from capturing the task so that you can revisit it later and prioritize and get it onto your list at the right time. So this is something that we practice and work on together inside of our membership community. So inside of our community, we do a lot of decluttering together. Again, that is key to getting to a place where your evenings feel easy and you wake up the next morning feeling on top again. So we do a lot of decluttering, but we also now work on all of our household management systems together. And we actually just did a survey. We meet every Saturday morning, and we just did a survey before one of our household planning classes. And we asked which of the topics that we have covered have been the most helpful for you. And it was actually how we manage our to-do list. And so this idea of capturing comes from the Getting Things Done system. And so that was a system created by a gentleman, I'll put his name here, in the 80s for people in corporate jobs. And it was a system of, again, capturing all the things that float out that we have to manage. And so he was instructing kind of like business people how to manage this. And so there's a lot of great principles behind it, but I wanted to retrofit it to us as women running a household. And so this is our key idea, is that capturing is completing. As women, we have been trained to believe that getting our to-do list done is when we can feel like things are done and complete. What's the problem? If you actually do a full brain dump, get everything that has been floating out around your brain down onto paper, there's gonna be over 100 items on there. All the things that you're managing that are floating around your head, I guarantee it right now, if you did a full brain dump, there's over 100 things on there. And so this idea that somehow a completed checklist is the indicator of a successful day is ridiculous. And so we're learning and we're practicing, how do we manage our energy? How do we match the tasks that we're gonna do today with how we're feeling? We have some productive days and we have some not productive days. We have days that go as planned and we can get through a lot of things. And we have other days where the school nurse calls and it goes off the rails. How do we manage that? How do we keep track of it all? And so this idea that capturing is completing. But if I can just remind you again of the brain science behind this, we think the relief comes when we check the things off the list. I know you're probably a paper list maker and there's just something about crossing that thing off that feels so satisfying. And there is a small burst of satisfaction about that. But have you noticed though, you still just look at all the other things on your list that still have to be done. You don't feel accomplished or done. Like kind of like we're talking about looking back at your kitchen. we never get our task list done. We never get that sense of, oh, satisfaction. It's done. I can relax now. I can do my activity that's going to restore me. No, it's never done unless we make this mental shift that capturing is completing. That is actually the act of writing down the thing that you're worried about forgetting that gives our brain the sense of relief. And then we take this master task list, we take this list of all the things that could be done. I heard it described that we should look at this as a wish list. These are things we could do. And then from there, we pull the things that have to get done. But when you do this and you practice this, you also, I believe, will find that this act of having everything captured, that everything you've been trying to manage in your poor, tired, overwhelmed brain, getting it into one central place. Again, I like the To-Do app, but you can, whatever works for you, it can be a notebook, right? But knowing it is all captured in one place, that is what brings peace of mind. It is not having a completed, fully checked off to-do list. And so I'm telling you, it takes a little bit to get our head around it. I know, like it's taken us months inside our membership group, and now the women are like, oh my goodness, you're right. Like this is a game changer. Action step, spend 10 minutes each night preparing your to-do list for the next day. All right, number 5, let's talk about actually creating procrastination space. So I mentioned social media does not recharge us. And that's fine, as long as we know that. So it's not great to do it right before bed. I think we all kind of know that by now. But our brain wants to scroll. We want to get the dopamine hit from going on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, YouTube, wherever, right? And so how do we take this from a yuck activity to something positive? And that is to set time for it, but limit the time, and if at all possible, use it as a reward. So if you say, if I get the dishes done, then I get 15 minutes of scrolling, oh my goodness, that is so powerful, because you're gonna get the satisfaction of getting the dishes done, and you're also gonna get like this dopamine reward from scrolling as well. And you're not gonna feel guilty about the time you spent scrolling because you did the dishes first. It is such a powerful combination. You know, as women, we're often like, I don't feel motivated. How do I find motivation? Like, tell me all your motivation tips. This is the best motivation tip out there. And if you want your kids to start to learn better habits around social media, do this with them as well. And it's a game changer. So use social media and scrolling time as a reward. And then at the end of the 15 minutes, really try to be disciplined enough to hop off of it, and then go back to our activities that actually energize us. But we have to remember, like, all of these TV shows and different things and games and all these things, they are designed to like draw us in and then not let go, right? To get you to go to the next episode and the next. And I know we all, when we look back at the end of the night, we feel guilty and we don't feel recharged. Even the other night, I don't remember, I went on my phone for something right before bed, which I should not have done. And then I got into Instagram and I scrolled for like 20 minutes. And then it was later when I was going to bed than I wanted to. And I was like, frustrated with myself. I'm like, why did I do that? But on the nights when I just read my fiction book to go to sleep, I never feel bad about myself. I fall asleep a lot easier. I don't have weird thoughts running through my brain all night. And most of the times I wake up feeling restored and rested in the morning. Again, it takes a little bit to get out of this cycle, but if you will just put a little intentionality into it, I don't think it's as hard to get out of as we thought. So then that leads me to the 3 things that you could practically do right now. Again, I feel very passionately that if you get your house fully decluttered, this all starts to take care of itself. It becomes so much easier to do all the things that I am talking about right now. But also that takes a lot of time and energy, right? And so I will have like tons and tons of extra time to put into that right now, right? So understand that that's like the ultimate end goal, to make your house super easy. But in the meantime, here are the 3 things that if you will do, you will feel a difference and your family's gonna feel a difference in your house as well. And those 3 things are to clear your kitchen countertops, do the dishes every single day, and to create a simple uniform. Now I have 3 separate like 5-minute videos because these are part of our Foundations First inside of our membership group. And so I'll put a link down below if you want to get these delivered to your email. 3 5-minute videos, very specific about each of these things and how they work together to boost your confidence, and again, for your family to notice a difference in your house right away as well. Look in the description of this video. But these things are so powerful. Like I talked about clearing the kitchen counters before, there is something about doing the dishes every single day. It will change your house, your whole house. I know it feels weird, right? It's one of those high impact activities that for the amount of effort that goes into it, it's a huge payoff. the way it changes how your kitchen feels, the way how we often then are like, well, I'll just sweep the floor quick and I'll do this real quick. Now, some of you are in the habit of it all the time. I'm so happy for you. I was never the person that could really get into it. And so I had to really work at it. But when I did, I couldn't believe what a huge difference it made in our whole entire house. I also understand that sometimes getting caught up on the dishes is an event in and of itself. Like, I understand that if you've been super behind. And then last is creating a simple uniform. And that is because our brains are so tired, right? We all suffer from decision fatigue. And so making decisions all day long really drains us. And so if we can create a very simple uniform, it doesn't have to be like a black t-shirt. It can like have a little personality. Again, I go in more depth in these videos. But if you can create a very simple uniform that fits, you feel good in, that just makes it so easy every morning to get dressed, a small thing that makes a gigantic difference in how your household runs. And so if you will do those 3 things within a day, 5 a week, you are going to feel such a big difference. And I really feel like that's going to motivate you to get some of these other pieces in place as well. It's really going to set you up for success. Well, I want to emphasize again, there's nothing wrong with you, nothing wrong with you at all. We have just let the inventory creep up into our homes where our environment is draining us, sabotaging us, stealing from us, instead of energizing us and setting us up for success. And so I'm really excited for you just to keep going, keep getting your house simplified, keep practicing these different ideas and mindset shifts, and you really are going to feel like a rock star when it comes to managing your house. And if you'd like just even a little more support around it, we do have our membership group, and it's on special right now for just $22 a month, normally $45. So we'll put details, that'll be in the description as well. I love you, I believe in you, I hope you have a really good day, and I'll see you again soon.